This time, we will make a WebView project, and this project will use a data binding. So we start a new project. We choose the empty views activity, and we name the project with WebView data binding, and check the save location and any other parameter and make sure. And after that, you can click finish. Now it's importing the Gradle project, and we will wait until everything ready to continue the project. Okay, so let's run the project. We make sure the running device is there and the project can be run properly. So install successfully, and we can see that the project is ready and we can continue. First, we provide here in the build Gradle, we provide the build features, data binding. So you put the build features, data binding, and set to true. And then synchronize. I minimize the running device here. And then you need to activate in the manifest access to the internet. So that's why here you put user permission name Android Internet. Since we are going to use the web view, and this web view will access the website, so we need to grant the internet permission. Now in the layout activity main, I change to the source code mode here, and this the text view. Remove this text view, and then I add the frame layout. Frame layout, match parent. And also don't forget the ID. I name it the main frame. And then I change this to the data binding. Right click here, show context action, convert to data binding layout. We just remove this data tag since we are not going to use that part. Here, right click, new fragment, blank. I name it the first one with the home fragment. And then we add another one, fragment blank. And then we name it with the web fragment. So we name it with the web fragment. So we have new fragment here, which is the home fragment, and then the web fragment. And now let's clear some part of the home fragment. So we remove this part and also this part, and also the companion object. We do the same to the web fragment to remove some unused part here. Okay, and we can restart the project. So we prepare the running device. So install successfully. Okay, so everything is okay. We are good to continue to the next step. I minimize the running device. And then let's see the main activity. In here also, we can remove some of the parts that are unimportant, and we provide here a let init var binding activity main binding, and then the set content, we close the set content, and then the binding here, we assign with the data binding util, and then the set content view, this r dot layout, you call the activity main, and then you do the initialize. Right click, or you can simply Alt enter, you can create function, and we have the function below, so we can run it now. Here we can make toast to make sure that this part can be run. So we make toast to make test this, let's say a welcome here, and then toast, and then finally show. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so we have seen the welcome there. Once again, I restart. Okay, so welcome, and the value is okay. So I have to adjust this a bit. Welcome. Okay, so once again, okay, so welcome is there already. Okay, then we have the initialize here already. The subroutine is already working, and we continue. And here, instead of the toast, we can add support FragmentManager, and then begin transaction. Okay, and then replace here with the r.id. The target is mainframe. That will be replaced by the home fragment, and then commit. So by doing this, we will call the home fragment that will be replaced to the main fragment. And let's adjust a bit the home fragment to make some difference in there. We open the fragment home and activate the code. Okay, we change this, the frame layout become constraint layout. Again, as we have in the activity main already, we have frame layout. So the fragment here from frame layout, we change to the constraint layout. Okay, and then don't forget you right click here, show context, and then convert to data binding, and you remove this part. Okay, and text view also no need. Okay, you can visualize the result by seeing this design splitting and empty there. So we add some parts here with the edit text. Edit text with the match parent and then a wrap content. Don't forget to close. And then important is ID. You name it with the edit text, the URL, since this is for the address of the website that we are going to retrieve. And this is to start, start parent, and then to end, and to end is parent. Okay, and then top, top to top also is parent, and then bottom to bottom also is parent. We see that it's there already, and yeah, you provide some of the margin here. You can put the margin, margin layout margin. Okay, sorry. You put the margin as 25 dp. So we have the result as we see in our screen design. All right, below it, we add another component here, which is the button. The button, the width is the match parent, and the height is the wrap content. You put the ID as the button URL, and the text is the open web. And then to start parent, to end parent, and this gonna be below of the edit. So we put here to bottom. So this top will be to the bottom of the ID URL, and then bottom to bottom also as parent, and you can put the margin 25. Okay, let's see the result that we have there, but the gap is too big there. We can adjust by providing a bias vertical like this, constraint vertical bias, yeah, kind of 0.5 like this. So we have the two components with the edit text and the button. So now we can see the result, start over the project, and we activate the running device, and we can see the result. Okay, so as we see, the result is there. With here, we can type the text there, and then we also have the button open web there. So we can continue. Okay, so we now adjust the fragment web here. So this also need to change to the constraint layout, and then show context, convert to data binding, and remove this part. Okay, and then the text here, no need. Okay, let's see the visualization here. Okay, and we put here the web view component. Okay, the match parent. Sorry, match parent here. You close, and don't forget you put the ID, and then I name it with the web view of the URL here. Okay, let's see the design that. Okay, so the web view is there already. So we can adjust now the home fragment Kotlin. Here we declare the let init var binding as the fragment home binding. And then here the return I close, and then put the binding here, assign with the fragment home binding, and inflate with the inflator container, and then false. That's it. So return the binding root. Okay. And here we make the on view created. Okay. And this is the binding. So we call the button. Okay. We're gonna set on click listener here. And inside of the on click listener, we put a local variable here that we assign the value from the edit URL, and we get the text, and we can change to the string to make sure that the content is string, and then we can use a kind of bundle here. Use the bundle need to collect all of the parameter that we will give to the fragment web. So this we put string as the, yeah, actually the this part should be there. Sorry, the URL there, but we have to make the here as the variable that will be captured on the next fragment. And then I make kind of the new local web fragment here as the representation of the web fragment. Okay. And then the arguments I set from the bundle value there. Okay, so that's it. Actually, we can make kind of toast make test here, but this cannot be this since we are use the home fragment. So that's why this is the required context because the toast inside of the home fragment. We can make like a check here. What is the the value of the URL that we have? Okay, so you make to the string and then a toast length long, and then I put show there. Okay, so that's all. We can try running this. We prepare our running device. Okay, so we can put now here like youtube.com, and then you click open. Okay, so the check youtube.com is already there. So we can continue. Okay, you can also use the log here if you want to see what happened, but backgroundly you can use the uh, log D. Okay, and let's see. Okay, so this should be activated import, and then my web view, and then here the sending URL is the variable URL there. Okay, so by doing this, you can examine later, but later I will show you. I continue this first with the require activity with the support fragment manager and begin transaction with the replace the r.id, the mainframe, replace with the WF that we already declared here as the web fragment. And then you add to backstack value null as parameter, and then we make a commit. Now we can start over the project, we run, and then we provide the running device. Now it's there already. We can type here the youtube.com, and then you press the open. Okay, so it's already navigate to the next fragment. However, the fragment, we put nothing there. So it's kind of like move there, but nothing there, but actually this is already the web fragment. So let's now improve the web fragment. Here we also declare the let init var binding, which is from the fragment web. Okay. And here we close the return. Instead, we declare assign the binding here from the fragment web binding, and you do inflator container false. And then here you return the binding dot root. Okay, that's it. So below you make a on view created. Okay, on view created, super, no need this. Just continue with the declare the URL here as the arguments. Okay, and then you get the string, and the value again here is the string that you declare as the URL key. Then you put it here. Okay, and you can use the log as you want to see. So wait, I make alt enter. Okay, so in the home fragment again, we put the log. So you copy this, you put in the web fragment, put it here. Okay, remember that we have the tag name here is the my web view, and then this is not sending, but the received. The receive is this one. So we can run this and check whether the sending and receive they have the same value. So start open the project and activate this. Okay, can youtube.com. Okay, and then I click open. Okay, it's already to the next fragment. Now you can go to this Logcat. Okay, activate the Logcat here. And the tag name here is the my web view. You can copy and put it here. You remove this, just my web view there. So you can observe in this display that we have the sending URL is the www.youtube.com, and also the receive one is the www.youtube.com. So it means that the sending value with the receive one, they have the same value. Yeah, so we can continue improving this part. So here you do the binding. Okay, web view here with the web view client. Okay, is the web view client. You make a declaration of this as the web view client, and we make here as the final unit kind of the checking if the URL that you have is the starts with. Okay. Start with the HTTP this way. Okay. And if this you set as the true, and then you can put also whether the uh, starts with the HTTPS, the secure. Okay, and this also you can set to the true. If so, you can here set the URL is okay, and you put else here, otherwise that you assign the final URL here as the HTTPS. Okay, so like this, yeah. Okay, something need to be adjusted here. So let's check this. Oh yeah. Yeah, we need to close this. Okay. Okay. And then we continue with the, here we have the else. Yeah, kind of too much here. I remove this. Okay, so better we start first the project. Okay, so it's okay. Go to the web fragment. So we can continue. So here below, I add the binding of the web view as the loading load. Okay, so I fill this with the final value, and also we copy this. Yeah, so we have now the settings as the JavaScript enable. We set as true, and then the settings of the set support zoom to true. Now we can restart over the project, activate the running device here. Okay, we can open the youtube.com, and then I open. Okay, so the YouTube is there. We try another one with the, let's say we have the CNN edition, cnn.com. Open the browser. Okay, so it's already go there as it can add with this. HTTPS there without typing that. All right, so this is the end of this project. So this demonstration already show us that the web view can be handled by using the two fragments. And as here, I demonstrate how to deal with the URL statement, and also we learn about how to deal with the observing the result by use the log.d here. Thank you.